What do you make of LeBron sitting out?
Yeah, Skip, what do you make?
Look, I realize this league frowns upon players, especially stars, suddenly taking off games for rest, especially marquee national TV games, as that one was last night. And I think we all were waiting to see LeBron and AD versus, obviously, Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Russ also sat out for rest. You can't tell me. They said he had some kind of a bruised thigh. But when it comes to LeBron James, this just makes me sick. It makes me cringe. It makes me feel some shame for LeBron because he should just own what he just did, and he won't own it. He keeps reaching for this same old tired, my groin hurts excuse, and I don't believe 1 ounce of it. I don't believe his groin was hurting at all last night, but it's easy to sell it to the blind witnesses out there because obviously he did, 2 Christmases back, rip his groin, so we get that. But there's no shame for LeBron James just to say, I just need to rest. The playoffs are not much more than a week away.
Correct.
He's nearing the end of year 17, and he's played the 3rd most minutes in the history of this game. And it's okay to say, hey, I can't play back-to-backs this close to the playoffs when we are sprinting to the finish. There's zero shame in that. I would have no problem. In fact, I would applaud that. But I don't want to hear the Lakers announce his groin is sore because I don't believe his groin. Yeah, you think it's sore. The problem is his pride is on the line. And he said earlier this year, LeBron plays. One thing about LeBron plays. Even went third person. Said, LeBron plays.
Yeah.
I'm Iron Man. Really interesting. Well, wait a second. Michael Jordan played all 82 9 times. Even at age 39 in his last year in Washington, he played all 82. And that huge last dance season in 1998 in Chicago, he played all 82 because in that second three-peat in Chicago, he played all 82 all 3 times. And that last year in Chicago, he played all 82 while winning the scoring title and making first-team all-defense. Well, you can't compare.
Yeah,
that's freaky right there.
Can we get LeBron to get a year and a half off?
Well, it probably helped him a little bit, but boy, when he came back, he just kept going 82, 82, 82.
Oh, LeBron to do that.
LeBron's played all 82 one time 2 years ago and gloated about it.
No, we didn't gloat. We just wanted you to know that we could do it.
Okay, so what have we seen? He load manages. You annihilate Kawhi Leonard. You ridicule Kawhi Leonard for load managing, and that's what LeBron has done at least 3 times this year. I hark back to December 22nd. He said he had a thoracic pull, some thoracic, sort of core muscle pull. Really? That was December 22nd. No, you're getting ready for the Clippers on December 25th. It's okay. Just accept it, own it, and own load managing because that's what you're doing, and there's no issue with it. I have no problem. Then what happened at Oklahoma City on a back-to-back on January the 11th? I have a cold.
You cold.
You have a cold.
Yeah, you were sick.
Well, that was on a Saturday night. On Sunday night, guess who showed up on stage at the Bad Bunny concert?
There you go with Bad Bunny,
Maybe
man.
he should have been wearing a mask that night because he was sick. He had germs. He was contagious. And he's up on stage just moving and grooving with Bad Bunny. Way to go, LeBron. And I'm saying baloney. I'm calling baloney on this, which led to February 27th at Golden State. And here we go, reaching again for my groin hurts. Stop it with the groin hurts.
Groin.
Kawhi Leonard, you got to give him some credit. Once he went bubble, he has played in all 3 scrimmage games and all 4 regular season games in the bubble. Yeah. All the restart is all Kawhi all the time.
They need him to.
Yeah, well,
they're the number 2 seed.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, who's load managing, Mr. Sharpe? It's not my guy. It is your guy. So accept it, own it, and I will not criticize it.
Well, how about I do it like this? It would be hard for me to believe that if LeBron had been playing well, put up his numbers pre-pandemic, that he takes a night off. But also, Skip, you have to understand this was a back-to-back. And, he's like, hey, we've had the number 1 seed. Now, if they hadn't had clinch, let's just say for the sake of argument, Skip, they had lost their first 4 ball games. And now this thing is getting close because the Clippers still has an outside chance of catching you for the number 1 seed. I believe LeBron would have played. But because it was the back-to-back and because they've already clinched the number 1 seed, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to him or the Lakers that he play out of there. Because if even a slight discomfort in anything, take it off. We have nothing to prove. The problem, the thing that I didn't like, Skip, he's like, he quoted, said there's just some things that's going that you can't control that's here that I really don't want to talk about.
That was after the game
right.
the night before.
Right. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, though, Skip. If you open that door, someone wants to walk in. So just leave it closed and don't mention it. Because if you're not going to elaborate, you leave people to speculate, and then people jump to the conclusion, okay, you're making excuses if something doesn't go your way.
Or was he just pouting last night? Was he rebelling? Is there some internal team issue where he's just saying, okay, let's see how you do without me then? Is that possible?
LeBron knows how they're going to do without him. Not very well. If he's pouting about everything, because nobody can throw the ball into the basket right now. I mean, if they're in the middle of the ocean and there's a boat and they try to throw the ball over, it's going to land in the boat.
Okay.
That's how bad it's got.
When I heard him and I watched it live the night before, I did not leap to the conclusion that they have internal problems. I thought he was just talking about things I can't control in our new circumstance in the bubble.
But Skip,
it's different.
Guess what? The other players that's down there, they can't control it either.
Okay, fine.
So it's not.
Well, I didn't have any problem with him saying that. I didn't bring it up.
No, but my thing is, Skip, that's not unique to LeBron. And I'm saying there's a lot of people, all the other players I'm sure, that are married and have families, have kids, miss their families. I'm sure there are a lot of players that miss their mom or miss their dad or miss because, Skip, you get comfortable. There's a routine that's been established over the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years that you've enjoyed. Now that routine has been broken. So there's a lot of people that's going through a very similar situation than LeBron.
I totally
All I'm
agree.
saying is my thing, the way I look at it, Skip, if there's something that you're not going to elaborate on, you probably shouldn't bring it up. That being said,
Shannon Sharpe just criticized LeBron James. I love that.
Skip, I'm always very objective.
Oh, really?
You don't think
Mr. Goat Mask is objective about LeBron James?
Well, he do goatish things. He deserves to be displayed as a goat. That's the way it works.
Well, I think you also just suggested that if the Lakers had been winning and he had been playing at the highest of levels, that he would have gone ahead and played last night. That's called front running.
But I told you, Skip, you thought LeBron needed rest. I said he was in such a great rhythm, and that's what he said. He said, I was in such a great rhythm, I did not need rest. He says, I like playing. I love to play. I prepared my body to play this many games, this so often, for years, and now you've broken that routine. So now he has to find a new routine. He will find a rhythm. He will get back in rhythm. Don't we play Saturday? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and drop that thing on somebody. Yeah.
Okay. You keep saying that, and they keep not dropping any threes.
We keep dropping the anvil on the floor because them do that bricks.
I would agree.
We terrible from the three.
Would you say something nice about Kawhi Leonard playing all 7 games in the bubble?
About time. Huh? Okay, Skip, 1 year, he took a whole year off. In the prime of his career, let's acknowledge that. He took a year off. And then he didn't
take a year off, he quit.
Okay.
And he strategically quit his way right out of San Antonio.
Okay, he did.
And it still sticks in my craw. I have forgiven, but I have not forgotten.
Well, how y'all look, Skip?
But he had a master plan. Okay, I got to have a stopover, a layover, one year in Toronto. I think I'll just go win the championship there and win Finals MVP, and then I'll get home to L.A. But I'm not going to LeBron's home in L.A. I'm going to the basement with the Clippers. It was a beautiful master plan that nobody saw coming. Way to go, Kawhi Leonard.
I've always struggled with this, and maybe I'm the only one. How do you forgive someone when you can't forget what they've done?
You just, what's wrong with that?
You should
never forget, but you forget.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Because if you forget it, you could, you remember that time he quit on my team? Well, then you can forgive it because you keep bringing it up.
Well, then you know that human is capable of doing that. But I still love him. He was my favorite player a long time ago when he first came to San Antonio.
It's kind of like if you do a favor for someone. You help someone get a job or you give them a loan. Hey, you remember that time I helped you get that job? Or you remember that money I broke you? Whoa, wait a minute. If you did it out of the kindness of your heart, why you keep reminding me? Well, if you forgiven him, why you keep bringing it up that he quit on your team?
I have grudging admiration for it because he knew what he was doing.
Like you tell
he pulled it off, and he pulled the rug right out from under LeBron and the Lakers.
Okay, now we cooking with Crisco.
Yeah.
Because the whole while you've been eating vegan and spraying with Pam. Now that's the crooks because
No vegan over here.
Because he did what he did to LeBron. You were willing to forgive a man that quit on your team, a team that you've been supporting for over 25 years.
That night of July 5th, after the earthquake here in L.A. and the second quote-unquote earthquake on Twitter and on the internet,
Yes.
Kawhi's in a Clippers jersey?
Yeah.
I sat back and shook my head and said,
All is
that's
forgiven.
unbelievable.
You're like, all is
I
forgiven
said,
now.
Look what this man just pulled off. Nobody, not the best reporters in the game, saw this coming. Nobody predicted I know there was some speculation here and there, but nobody really thought he was going to wind up with the Clippers with Paul George?
So I guess my grandfather said, boy, an enemy of an enemy is a friend of mine. So that's the way you look at Kawhi now. Because at first he was an enemy. But since he's an enemy of a bigger enemy, he's now a friend. I can't believe
But look at the master plan. He's saying,
I can't about no master plan.
I'll go to Toronto. They're going to ship me Toronto because I can't control where they ship me to.
He wanted to go to the Lakers.
Well, okay, but they ship me to Toronto, so I'll just go up there and I'll make use of my time. I think I'll win the championship.
Oh,
How about that?
hold on. No, it should be discredited. He won the championship coming out of the East. Remember, that's what you did with LeBron for all those years.
Yeah, but he's just Kawhi Leonard. He's not LeBron James.
Whoa,
and then
okay.
he winds up in L.A. and he says, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to become the first player ever to win 3 Finals MVPs for 3 different teams.
You know
and
what?
here he goes.
You know
that
what?
is some beautiful master plan.
My biggest regret, well, one of my biggest regrets is watching sports, is seeing Kevin Durant go down. Because you and I both know Kawhi Leonard is not winning no Finals MVP. They're not winning no title if Kevin Durant's healthy. You know that, and I know that because we saw what he did for that brief 8 minutes.
He pulled it off.
In that brief 8 minutes that he was in the game, he let it rip.
I've told you he's the best player on the
I ain't
planet.
talking about that, whatever.
Right.
I'm talking about what should have happened.
Thank you.
But that's okay. We're going to get it this year.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.